at, of course, the indices and then stocks. What do we have? On the Nifty, we are starting at 22,288. On the Sensex, we are starting at 73,300. It's 87 point higher start on the Nifty. Almost three digit gain now. Mid-cap index is up 0.5%, 273 on the mid-cap index. And I think you've got the small-cap index, which is also starting about 0.5% higher. So those are indices, but as we've seen, it's been, groups of stocks over the last couple of days which have done well. Yesterday it was capital goods. Before that it was PSUs, metals. So let's get it with stocks. Sonia's got that with her. Sonia.
Well, thanks a lot for that. As you rightly pointed out, it's a good opening for the market, right? Almost 90 points higher now on the index. But I'm going to take it straight to individual stocks. M&M really is the stock on our radar. We heard about the XUV 3XO seeing over 50,000 bookings in 60 minutes. So look at M&M now. Fresh record high, up almost about 1% and really taking it away. 2,300 on M&M. Big move over there. Adani Ports is the other one. Very strong commentary coming in, up almost about 1%. They say that cargo volumes are targeted to reach 1,000 million tons in 2030. And the port's ROC is expected to be over 20%. So just keep that on your radar. Bharti Airtel is the other one. The India business has been very strong. And Rima was telling us that a lot of brokerages have raised their target price on the stock. Kotak has raised its target price to 1,410. So big upside to the current market price here. So keep an eye on Bharti Airtel. IEX is the other one. Overall electricity volumes are up 15.5%. The EBITDA is up 12.5%. And look at the stock charging away now 3.5% higher. Apart from that, there's NCC, which reported a decent set of numbers. The stock is up about 3%. EBITDA went up 18%. Revenues rose 31%. So just keep tracking that one. Then there's LIC Housing Finance. The disbursement growth was pretty good, almost 14%. AUMs have risen 4.5%. So looking good on LIC Housing Finance. Let's move to Dixon Technologies. The headline numbers were a miss, but the mobile business growth has been healthy and the street likes that. 8,200 now on Dixon Tech has been a huge mover lately. So the stock is piling on the gains, up about 2%. Honeywell Auto as well, the EBITDA and margins were above estimates. The margins actually saw almost a 200 basis points rise. But for now, the stock is coming in for some profit taking, so down about 4%. Titagar Wagons, the EBITDA has gone up almost 26%. Margins above estimates, and the street likes that. 6% higher. More with the management coming up in a bit, so stay tuned for that. Mankind Pharma, the Q4 numbers were better than estimated. Margins higher as well at 24%, so looking good. CMS Info, EBITDA up almost about 9%, revenue growth of almost 25%. Then we take it to some of the numbers that came in post-market hours yesterday. Berger Paints, overall almost 14% volume growth is what Berger Paints saw. So keep an eye out on that. Yesterday's listing, Aadhar Housing, it was a subdued listing, but HNI investors, Akash Bhansali bought almost 45 lakh shares on day one. And as we told you in pre-opening as well, Aadhar Housing is now the cheapest amongst the housing finance stocks. So just look at the move there. Day one was not great, but day two is seeing a big move on the stock. Overall, since it's the fag end of the earnings season, so many stocks coming out with numbers, so we're tracking that. But the main focus area is here. Almost a century now on the Nifty, looking pretty good. And this is the main area to focus on. 1,800 stocks on the advancing side. So clearly, the market breadth is improving, which is a great thing. Back to you.
Well, IT is also doing pretty well today. Pull up the Nifty IT because names like Tech Mahindra, that's up 1.7%, LTI Mindtree, HCL Tech, Wipro, across the board, the large caps are showing you pretty healthy gains. So IT is leading from the front, with the Nifty IT index also showing you a rally of close to about 1% right now. Outside of the index, it's Apollo Tyres which catches your attention. It's a 5.5% gain on Apollo Tyres, and there have been a lot of upgrades coming through on Apollo Tyres. So Nomura has upgraded it to a neutral. They're saying the current valuation does not look very expensive. And the other one is JP Morgan, which has upgraded Apollo Tyres to an overweight and raised the target price to 550 because the company continues to demonstrate its commitment towards balance sheet deleveraging. So Apollo Tyres is a stock which is on fire today. Came out with numbers though 2 days back. On the way down, keep your eye on Reddington. The stock has slipped nearly 5%. A disappointing set of numbers. The company's margins have come under pressure. EBITDA margins in the current quarter are at 2%, which compares with 2.2% sequentially and 2.5% a year ago. So Reddington, is losing ground. But other than that, it's a pretty good-looking screen, and at least the Nifty is managing to hold on to its gains, and the advanced decline ratio is very strong.
Well, 90 points higher, right? And so this is as good as they come, especially in a market phase that we find ourselves in. I think we've sort of outlined a bulk of the long list of stocks there, which are moving. Aadhar Housing, by the way, is the #1 volume-led gainer across the NSE. So that should tell you something. Yesterday, it started flat, and you had that TBO Tech, which started with a 50% pop. But Aadhar Housing, I mean, 20% CAGR in AUM is what they are kind of expecting. They're one of the largest actually in the space. AUM size is about 20,000, nearly 20,000 crores, and largely lends to the salaried segment. What else? I think we mentioned Apollo Tyres, Titagarh, I think we did mention. IEX is up about 2.5% or so, 150 nearly, and has got very large volumes coming up now. Nagarjuna Construction is up about 5%, it's got large volumes. Oberoi Realty, look at Sterling Wilson Solar, 3.5% higher on that one. Yesterday, of course, was, I think it's a new high, a new all-time high. So 786 now on this one, after yesterday's 5% gain. There is Kirloskar Brothers, which is up 3%, again, strong gains. IIFL Securities had a strong day yesterday. That is up about 4% or so. And there is, I think, Jyoti Laboratories, which is up about 1.6 odd percent as well. So it's overwhelmingly up. 1650 stocks are higher, and you've got some under 400 stocks which are lower at this point in time. On the way down, there is only NLC India with a 4% cut. With any volumes, Bandhan Bank maybe is another one which has got volumes. That is down about 2.5 odd percent as well. Sonia?
Just that rural theme we were talking about, right?
Yeah.
How rural is coming back. In the auto space, it's very apparent because all these stocks, whether it's M&M, Hero MotoCorp, Escorts, all at fresh 52-week highs this morning. Ashok Leyland is also rising quite a bit. So that is one theme that's playing out in its entirety now.
Absolutely. And, that's absolutely true. Autos, of course, have done extremely well. It's been perhaps a sector of the last year or so.